Every Child is Unique by Saba Asif. I especially did this for my presentation. Life is so unpredictable. You never know when it will turn towards an unexpected bend, roundabout or dead end. Sometimes it is full of surprises and sometimes it is full of shocks. I've seen, learned, discovered, enjoyed and cried heaps throughout my life. So far, there is an equal balance of happiness, fear, joy, sadness, depression. These emotions have all made me a super strong person that I am today. My past, present and future has and will make me stronger and defensive to fight all hurdles which have or will come in my life. My childhood has many memories which have made me stronger. Growing up with a brother with ASD has taught me affection, to be fearless, and that every child is unique. He's 5 years older than me, but I could connect with him. He has always been very aggressive and violent. At first his loud noises used to irritate me and make me afraid. But then I overcame my fear and learned to live with him and understand him better. I remember locking myself in the room and hiding when he would be violent. I've never shared these feelings with anyone, not even my parents. I remember a lot of incidents, like when I was 10. My brother ran towards me for no reason. I still have a mark on my forehead. It always reminds me of my childhood. At the age of 12, I was standing near our staircase. He was standing on top of the floor and threw an empty glass on my head. And it broke into pieces. I got bruises. Luckily, pieces didn't go inside my head. At the age of 19, while watching TV, he got up and went towards the kitchen. 5 minutes later, I was howling and screaming. There was blood dripping down on me. I could see a knife above my right ear. My dad drove me to the hospital. I got 16 stitches on my head. Luckily, not much harm was done. I never blamed my brother for anything. I still love him, as he's special in every way. My firstborn was a boy, D. He rolled over at 4.5 months, started sitting at 6.5 months, stood up at 7.5 months, and walked at 14.5 months. By 18 months of age, he was babbling. By the age of 2, he indicated his needs by pointing, and his first words were noticeable. Then I had my second-born boy, A. By the age of 3, D was speaking 2-word sentences. By the age of 4, he wasn't speaking much. This is what alarmed me, and I noticed a big delay in speech. We took him to a child psychiatrist, who told us he was unable to make any specific diagnosis, as some children pick up late. D didn't like playing with other kids. He was obsessed with cars. He needed assistance to dress. He was showing difficulty with basic skills and daily activities. All children were exposed to words at a daily basis. This is how they expand their vocabulary, but my son had limited vocabulary. I knew there was something wrong. We took him to a child specialist who told me he had learning development disorder. In other terms, mild autism. At that moment, I felt I had been struck by lightning. This meeting wasn't what I had expected. It wasn't promising or positive. My ears were listening to what I didn't want to hear. I just wanted to cover my ears and scream. That night I was at the edge of an emotional breakdown. The questions in my head kept popping. How can I help him? What can I do to make things better? How will he cope? I cried my eyes out. Each child's brain is measured at birth. Dee's brain was measured too. Why didn't doctors say anything then? He cried like all other normal babies. Were my genes different? Was he like this because of my brother? I grabbed myself and said either moan about it or do something about it. For me, a stamp was put on D. I knew I couldn't erase the ink, but I could dimmer it by helping him with the struggling areas. I just screamed out my frustration. If I would have bottled up, I would have wasted a lot of time. This matter needed immediate attention. At times, not only me, but my child was also going through a roller coaster of emotions. I had to stay calm for his sake. He was not comprehending well when I read to him. He was unable to understand fully or answer my questions related to the text. I didn't base my observations on limited restrictions. I kept lots of reasoning in my mind why he was not doing well. Many times I couldn't hear my own thoughts. I wanted to think aloud and shout out my thoughts to the whole world. I then certified in Autism Awareness, Special Education Needs and Dyslexia Therapy. I want you to understand Dee better. Every child learns, but at their own pace, time, capability and mood. All children are different when it comes to learning, as they have different learning skills. I cried the first day Dee went to school, thinking, how will he cope? Will he make friends? Going to school was a whole new step and experience for him. He was receiving assistance in a regular classroom at the age of 6. He was still less talking and using a lot of gestures. He was using visual cues, photos, picture symbols, post-it notes, first this and that boards. I've been blessed with all the guidance and help I got from psychiatrists, occupational therapists, speech-language pathologists, teachers, attendants, speech development pathologists. Every child is unique. I'm now certified in special needs and have the opportunity to work with many special needs students. I not only teach them but also learn a lot from them. For me, every child is unique and wonderful, and I always pray for their safety and happiness.